Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Mm. Hi everyone, this video is in English and I'm here in my terrace in Mysore. We're about to start the last week of our season. 3 months I've been here with my guru, and I want to do this video in English specifically, even though I usually do them in Spanish for all my Spanish speaking friends, because I wanted to reach many more people. And I want to tell you my story, because when I tell my own story, I cannot even believe it. and there's something that is happening that is not what some teachers are sharing about the trauma-infused method, or about aging and practice becoming like a torture, or practice being a torture for 30 years, or I've heard a lot of that noise lately, and I want to tell you my story from a very humble heart, and it's my story and you can make your own conclusions. So I started coming to Mysore in 2003, and in 2003 I was already a mother of 4 children. And I have been through a lot in my country of origin in Costa Rica, and I really felt that I needed to find some source of true happiness in my life. I was so disappointed with life. I felt like life had betrayed me in all senses. So I came to India because, India welcomes us when we're ready, and then a series of coincidences and synchronicities happen. And anyway, a good friend from the US invited me to come with him, and I will always be grateful to him because he brought me here. And once I was here, I remember a name that an American teacher told me. She was from Ohio. She came to Costa Rica and she said, "You have to study with Patavi Joyce." And that's how I ended up here, because in those days there was no internet, and we were traveling with a Lonely Planet guide, and it was a very different experience from today's, let's say, internet world. So I came and I met Patavi Joyce, and I met Sharaji, and since then I felt welcome. I felt I could go into that shala and do what I could. And I had very limited ideas about myself. I remember seeing Annie Pace practicing. She was practicing 3rd series, which I am doing now. And I immediately invalidated myself and said, I will never be able to do that. I will never be able to do that. It was a statement inside of me saying, maybe I can attempt, the first steps, but that is not possible for me. And in these past 19 years, I have felt a huge change in my mind. And how about being able to finish the 3rd series? At my age, I am 55 years old. I just turned 55 last January. I had 4 children when I came here in 2003, but then God blessed me with 3 more. And I was already practicing, I was already like in the flow. And from 2008 until 2011, I had 3 more babies. So I have encountered a lot of obstacles in my own path, but I have always felt welcome by Sharat, and his way of saying, you come, and giving priority to the parents, and understanding as a parent what being a parent is, for me, is priceless. I always felt I could come and do what I could do. So now here from Mysore, after 3 months with my Guruji, and I have no words of gratitude for him, because he has shown me that all limitations were in my own mind, and that I was stuck in a way of thinking that is very common in our days. Like if you have a certain age, then you're done, and especially as a woman, if you're over 30, you're done. If you don't have kids by 40, you're done. If you have not found a husband by 25, you're done. And that's not true at all. That's not true at all. That's something that, especially in women, we feel very unworthy. We feel we don't deserve the good stuff in life. Um, I have to say I had several transformations in my body, especially because after my sixth baby, Theo, one of my hips was torn in the birth. So I had to deal with that, and in Costa Rica, many surgeons wanted to do a hip replacement, and I say, no, I only need to go back to my Guruji. I only need to go back to that shala, and my body will heal itself. And that's how it has happened. And imagine now in this trip, I had COVID, so I was down for 2 weeks. And I was also thinking, how am I going to go back to my advanced practice? I mean, after feeling so low and there was so much pain in my body and lungs and back and everything. And in these past 2 weeks, it's the grace of the Guru. That's the only way I can tell you. I started slowly. I was in pain. But the breath is the way to reconnect to the inner powers of healing in the body. And of course, the touch of the Guru. Just being in the presence of Sharaji for me is such a healing and sacred presence. And when we are in that attitude of being open to the grace of the Guru, then the grace of the Guru heals us. And I have experienced that many, many times. When we are shut down to this grace because of different vrittis, I would call them, fluctuations in the mind, then of course we age normally, we ache and pain, and by 50 we'll say, oh, no, I cannot do that anymore, because we're alone, because we need a living Guru to be able to go to the limitations of the mind. That's the only way. At least that is how it's been for me. So I want to encourage everyone to really have your own experience. That's my advice. Don't fall for the words of those who have traveled the path and now are attacking the path. I mean, that's not loyal to your own path, because you are who you are because of the path. And if you decide to change path, that's totally okay. Bow pranams to those who have taught you, and then keep doing your thing, and then you can just create a new yoga style, and then you can just, yoga for the golden ages, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But the Ashtanga method can be with us as we age. That's my testimony. Also, as we mother. 7 children it's an intense family life, I have to say, and I devoted 30 years of my life, and my children are all beings of light, and the older ones practice yoga, and the little ones, I know they will remember that their mom was teaching every day in their home, was practicing every day, was traveling to India. It's possible for all of us, but we need to be open to the grace. If we are shut, or we are still connected to a Guru that is dead, or we are in our own trip, of course it cannot happen. The only way this miracle can happen is when we're really available. And the grace of God is there for everyone. That's what I want to say. No matter what your age is, no matter how many children you have, no matter where you live, no matter if you think it's impossible for you, imagine in my case, oh my God, I had so many obstacles. And I have no words to thank my Guruji. Really, it's like, for me, is a miracle. That, not that I accomplished the 3rd series, that's not the miracle. That I went through all my limitations. was a miracle. That I could dream something for myself, that I could believe in myself when everybody around me was telling me, you're not enough. When the culture I was born in was telling me, you're worthless. And that has been the miracle for me. I thank you so much from my heart, and I'm blessed to be here in Mysore. And I will come back to Mysore every time my Guruji opens the shala. I have no doubt about that. And if it's possible for me, I know it's possible for you. Thank you so much. Sending all my love and feeling very blessed. Namaste.